How's this for a DM we just got on Instagram? Got a question for you. How do you persuade family and friends that betting can be profitable? I try to explain to them and they are hard stuck on the stereotype that you can never profit from the bookies or the house always wins. It's a bit demoralizing them caring more about my unit size than my actual profits. It's a great comment. It is actually a really, really good comment. And being in this game, you get used to people automatically assuming the worst. And to be honest, it's not the worst mindset to have. It's probably good for people to be pretty critical in the sense of if they hear that you're gambling to make a living or making a side hustle off gambling or making profit and you're adamant that you are, most people are generally going to be critical. And the reason for that is because generally speaking, in the past, gamblers are very vocal about their winnings and they're very hush-hush about their losses. So therefore, when someone hears, oh yeah, I'm profiting on the punt, automatically everyone is going to be skeptical about it because they've all known someone in the past or they've heard stories of someone who's like, yeah, I won 10 grand on the weekend, but they forget to neglect the 15 grand that they lost 2 weeks before that. So it is good to have that mindset. Be critical. Be uncertain about things. Generally speaking, as humans, we're probably very accepting of things. Have a look at the bloody pandemic. We just accepted it. So it's actually good that people are very critical and that when they hear someone is profiting off the bookies, they do have that critical mindset and they think, nah, something must not be right. It's actually a positive thing. When people come in here to the system or to the Hustler Squad and they think, nah, you guys must be a scam, I said, awesome. I'm glad that you've got that mindset. However, it doesn't mean you can't be open-minded. So I think that's probably my answer to this guy who's reached out in the DMs is just ask them to be open-minded. They don't need to believe it, but ask them to be open-minded. Show them the facts, present them the figures, and then let them make a decision. Show them the maths behind it. Show them the statistics. Show them how it works. Explain the general concepts. Explain positive EV betting. Explain that in the long term, you cannot lose due to maths. It's very simple. And if they still don't want to believe it, well, some people are never going to believe it. They're very closed-minded and they just automatically assume, no, you cannot beat the bookies. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. But the people that can see an opportunity and they can make the most of an opportunity, they're the ones that are going to be benefiting off it. They're the ones that are going to at least be open-minded and at least going to allow their opinion to change based on facts, based on figures, based on stats, based off hard empirical evidence. If you can provide evidence to someone and show them, yes, this is what is happening, and they have the trust in you that what you're saying is the truth, then if they can't accept that, then unfortunately they're never going to change their opinion. That's just the way it is. But as we say, the people that want to learn, the people that want to improve, the people that do want to start taking money off the bookies, they will be the ones that are able to hide or suppress that stereotype and actually see it for what it is and see the truth behind the numbers, the stats, the figures, the community, the testimonials, the paid actors. They're going to be able to see the truth and they're the ones that are going to be able to cash in on the opportunity. So in short, my man, it is a tough one. It is a tough one. I think it really does come down to, I think there's a bit of trust that people need to be able to trust you in what you're saying is true. And that's a tough one. Particularly if you're someone who comes from a betting background, particularly if you're a gambler who has lost in the past, people are automatically going to struggle to believe you when you say you've found the next winning formula because you've probably said that in the past. I'm not talking about this particular bloke. I'm just saying in general. However, I come from a very, very mathematical background. So when I sort of told my parents, no, this works and it's just maths and I can't believe it, but it works, they were very believing and very trusting of me because I guess like I'm a pretty sort of risk-averse, sensible person when it comes to money. So I would never be launching into anything. So it is very different. It's very personal. But at the end of the day, in short, if you can present someone the evidence, the hard facts, and they still don't want to believe that beating the bookies is profitable, then I don't think they're ever a chance to believe it. It's a tough one. They will always believe that in the long term, eventually it's going to catch up with you and eventually you're going to go on a losing run and eventually you're going to lose it all. And that's just the way it is. And that's the stereotype. And it's funny because we're in such a woke community where we've been taught to not listen to stereotypes, and you can't trust stereotypes anymore. But the stereotype lives strong with gambling, and for good reason. However, it doesn't mean that the stereotype is true all of the time, and this is a perfect case of that. So just a little sporadic comment there. Cheers for that one, mate. I'll respond to your question now, but you'll probably see this one on our content too. So cheers for that one. Good question.